for joining us today for another episode of What's Your Why Wednesday. Today, I am joined by the incredible Melissa Nelson. She is a senior loan officer at Barrett Financial. Well, Melissa, we were just saying that it's such a great world we live in right now because although we've not physically met each other, we know each other just from social media and being in the industry. And after watching you and your wonderful positive attitude and what you're doing in the industry, I knew I had to learn more. So we are in for a treat today. All right. So Melissa, what we do is we start off with getting to know a little bit of your thought process and what inspires you and motivates you. Now, the majority of people that I've met in this mortgage and real estate world have come into it by accident from one way or another. But we stay in the industry because it's tied to our personal and professional why. So at this time, I would love to hear, please share with us, what is your why?
This is amazing. Thank you so much for having me. I just love it that I finally figured out my why after so many years. Like, I wish I would have had it sooner. So thank you so much for forcing me to do this. So I want to give a little bit of a background history of just me and my personality, and then you'll figure out, I'll tell you my why, and then you'll know why I feel that way. So when I was in first grade, I always wanted to be a rock star. I had a stage in my basement where I used to sing and dance. And obviously I don't have a very pretty voice. So God's plan for me maybe was a little bit different, but if I would have had an amazing voice, I probably would have pursued it because I do kind of love all that kind of stuff. But I would say that was kind of my first experience having that drive. And so third grade came and I wanted to be the top reader, the top speller in my grade. And I used to compete against my best friend. And so I had that competitive vibe. And then eighth grade came where I actually experienced a traumatic accident at school with some peers. And I went through a really dark time in my life, and I went through a lot of counseling. And I remember, I feel like crisis can kind of help us tap into who we really are. And I started playing the harp, and my harp teacher told my mom she'll never be able to play. Well, I play till this day. I'm not fantastic at it, but I play all the time. And my harp kind of symbolizes that I can do hard things. And so at the end of that year, I decided I was going to run for freshman class president, cheerleader, and cheer captain. I just went for it. And I remember when they called out my name for all three. I went home on the bus, like trying to hold back all my tears because I just remember all that anger, all that hurt, all that stuff that I was carrying all that year, like I had finally overcome. And so I feel like I took that with me all throughout high school. I tried out for everything and anything. And then about my senior, I decided to graduate early. Okay. I was student body secretary. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm ready to evolve. So I did. And then I went to college and I had a blast there. I was in a sorority and everything. I worked really hard and I graduated early with my bachelor's degree as well. So I kind of have this in me where I work really hard and then I'm ready to evolve.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly evolving and I feel like my why is constantly evolving. And so my why, I'm kind of into decorating, but I don't know if you remember the early 2000s where they had this home decor signs that said, that say, live, laugh, love.
Yep.
Okay. So that's definitely my why. So every time you see those home decor signs, you're going to think of me. But so I want to live my life to be truly genuine about, to who I am. Instead of building a brand like everybody says, it's really all about what I stand for. And, you can't really do anything that if it's not the truth. And I want it to be the true me. And I want to live my life to seize out at every opportunity that fills me with substance and purpose. And I feel like no one can tell you what you're capable of, only you can. So I don't let people put me in a box. I don't let people label me and tell me what I cannot accomplish. It's really up to me. And then my laugh. So I love to have fun. I am a fun creator. I feel like I'm a fun chaser. But like I was telling you, I like to celebrate everything. But I love the song by Leanne Womack that, when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance.
Mhm.
I am a dancer, you guys. I may not have like the best skills, but
honestly, that whole song is a great song. Like
I love
all
the
of the
song.
parts of that song. Yes.
I love that
great
song.
song.
And so I want to choose to dance.
Yep.
Whatever it is I'm doing, I'm going to dance.
Yep.
And then the love part, which I feel like this ties everybody into this, but love always wins. And I said this on the Fuse stage just recently, but if my heart's connected to whatever it is I'm doing, like I am unstoppable.
Yep.
So if I have to love who I am, what I'm doing, my family, my clients, my team, like once that all kind of comes together, like we truly are winners. And our energy reflects that, whatever we're doing in our life, and why it's so important. I really wasn't blessed with a poker face. All my emotions are always all over my face. But what I'm putting out in the world, I feel like will come back to me. And so that's why it's so important that I choose to do what I love to do. So live, laugh, love. That is my why.
I love it. And Melissa, although we hadn't met before, we are very, very similar type people. So everything that you just said, I 100% relate to. I will tell you that I know you just recently had a birthday. At the time of this recording, it'll be probably a couple months from now, from that time.
Okay.
But usually what I'll say is most people don't discover all those factors until a little bit later in their life. So the good news is, although you said you wish you had realized it sooner, you're actually ahead of schedule. Because, and I'll tell you, you're ahead of schedule. But I'll tell you, one of the reasons why you might be a little ahead of schedule is you had even said you had had some trauma. And a lot of times when you have some type of trauma in your life, and we hope no one goes through trauma, but it pushes you to recognize some things a little bit sooner than as you reach your maturity. So it is a blessing that sometimes as something traumatic might come in our life, sometimes it wakes us up to realize, don't sweat the small things. And don't
it helps you tap into empathy and compassion for others because you had to live through it yourself. So
So I do have a follow-up question based on your live, laugh, love.
Yes.
How do you apply that to what you do?
My next story, that is what I'm gonna tell you.
All right. So let's lead up. Let's go with that. So my next question that I usually ask, and it's my most favorite part of everything because I love hearing these stories, is every day, we're connected to clients and families that we're helping. And certain ones kind of, tie to our heartstrings and really, really sit with us. So Melissa, yes, perfect timing. Please share one of those special stories with us.
So I'm gonna share a recent mom story. So I was driving my daughter home from work the other night, and she, I'm always just listening to the radio, and she's 15, and she's like, "Mom, are you living? Or are you surviving?"
Oh, wow.
And I look at her like proud mama moment, like we're having a deep conversation.
That's deep. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I am excited about this.
At 15, you better mark the date because that's a really important moment.
I know, because I am a deep conversation person. Like that's my favorite thing to do. And so, and I look at her and I'm like, no brainer. Like I love to dance. So I am always living. And she looks at me and she's like, yeah, you're right. You do live. But I think the last couple months you've been surviving.
Ooh.
And I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? You're right. I have been
Mhm.
surviving. I'm like, I've had an amazing year. And it's wonderful being on that high and then coming and then having to come down from it. I'm like, it was hard. It was hard coming down. And I'm like, and I was kind of, I'm like, every time, my birthday month, I'm always kind of in deep thought, focusing on what I'm doing that year, if I'm going to carry it out to the next year. Like, does it serve me? And I told her, I'm like, you know what? You're right. That is life, my darling. We sometimes you're going to live and sometimes you're going to survive. And then so I asked her the same question. And she said, Mom, I've been surviving since seventh grade.
Wow.
So in that moment, I was also taken back by whatever I'm doing in my life, whatever I'm choosing to do, it affects my family. It affects everything that I'm doing, my vibe that I'm putting out. They're watching me all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
All the feelings that I have, they're watching me. So, when I think about, I've been doing my nonprofit for 8 years. Am I going to do it again next year? I do it for my kids too, but I do it for my mindset, for me too. And I'm like, that was my answer. And so then I was like, what is my live, laugh, love, and mortgage? Like
Yeah.
what, like, so then I got into I'm so glad that you asked me to do this because it forced me to focus on my mortgage career. Like, is this what I love to do? So let me tell you my live, laugh, love for mortgage. Let me get in here. What I was going to say. But okay, so my mortgage career. For the last 9 years, what I love about it is that it's helped me live like a flexibility. I have the flexibility of my schedule. I can work really early. I can work late at night. In the last 9 years, I've been able to have to be a wife, a mom, a nonprofit founder, a business owner. I've been able to do all those things and still have my mortgage career.
That's
So
awesome.
it really has helped me live. I've raised my kids and all that. And that's what I really love about the industry is that I dictate my own success, my own schedule. So it's allowed me to live. My laugh for mortgage is that I have to be in some kind of industry where I create. I am very creative. I love all that. So it's fun for me. So the mortgage industry, it allows me to do that. I do that in marketing. I'm very techie. I build websites. Um, I love photography, all those kind of things. I can express myself. And you're thinking like mortgages, numbers, all that kind of stuff. It's super challenging. And I love that aspect too, but it's like a roller coaster ride. And I love
That
roller
is for sure. Yes. Well,
coasters.
but that goes back to your evolving, right? Like you were saying that you always need to have that evolution.
I'm evolving.
That's the beauty
Yes.
of the mortgage industry is that
That's
it's not a
true.
constant,
It's
like
never the same.
correct.
Never.
Mhm.
And
That's right.
a lot of people can't handle that.
No, it's a
A
love
lot
or
of,
hate. There's some people
yeah,
that absolutely hate it, but the people that love it, that's what drives us, right? That's what drives us to
yeah.
keep trying to be
We
better.
like the challenge. Like,
Yep.
are we up for it? And I feel like it takes that kind of personality. So
Does.
I do find it fun. So, and I have to have fun with who I work with as well. So, and so my love, um, I really think that like I could be great in any career as long as I like change the paradigm to serving others. Whatever we do, like I think it would be fulfilling for me. But as long as when it comes to being in the mortgage industry, like yes, I'm helping people achieve the American dream and to become financially or what's the word? Financial wealth. They're building
Yeah.
financial wealth. Like I love all that too because I'm really into that. But I've heard on other podcasts, like it's really the connection that we build with our borrowers.
It
Like
is.
just in the last year, I love that there was a girl, she just graduated from college and just got her brand new job. She had no credit score and I got her into her first townhouse. And I remember the picture of her in her kitchen smiling, and like she sent it to me. I'm like, yes, that is like women empowerment.
But that's life changing. You know that, right? Like in that moment, you change her life, because that's generational wealth, that regardless if she stays there or if she winds up selling it and moving into another house, like in her mind, number one, she knows she can do it because you helped her. Like she probably at that moment thought, I can't buy a house. I don't have any credit. I can't do this. But you showed her that, yes, she can. And now she'll forever think differently. She will know she can own a home, and she will know that it's bigger and better and whatever she's going to do. And anything that she does in that future, whether it's a partner that gets added to that, whether it's children in the future, everything is going to be built on being a homeowner. Always. Like that will be the mindset. You did that.
Yeah. I mean, helping newlyweds get into their first home, but really too, also, like I've helped a lot of couples going through divorce recently, splitting their equity, in their houses. What I have enjoyed about that process is I really am a mortgage therapist. What I find is that I am connecting with my clients going through a hard time, and I'm able to help them through it. And I actually really love that about my job. And so not only are we always, there's huge celebrations, but there's also times in our life where people walk into our life and they help carry us through. And I feel like we can be those people too.
Yeah.
So if you can dig into whatever career that you're doing and you can find that why and that love, that is my love. Is that I love all those people now, and I consider them my friends, and I actually love my brokerage. I love my team that I work with. I feel like we're all like one big family. My family gets a little bit jealous sometimes of my work family.
Well, think about how much time you spend with them, right?
I mean, we spend that's why you have to choose wisely.
Yeah,
because those people affect me and my household. So I'm constantly every year kind of evaluating, is this where I'm staying? Because like you said, I'm an evolver.
Yeah.
I like to evolve and get better. And I'm constantly figuring that out. Every November is when I am really sitting down thinking about it.
So let me ask you this question, Melissa, and I don't know if this applies to you, but it's funny. I was just having this conversation twice yesterday, that in my life, every December, I start to think of a word for the following year.
Oh.
So have you thought about, like, do you do that? Is like, do you have a word for 23?
I've done it in the past. Okay. I have done it in the past. I know, like, one year was love.
Yep.
The other year was inspire. Mm-hmm. And another year was kindness, but I have not figured out a word this year. But guess what? I will, now that you've challenged me. I will figure out my word for 2023. So
yeah, it's actually funny. And the reason why I was reflecting on it, of course, it was because it was coming to the end of the year. But my word for 22, which was done in December of 21, it was actually legacy. Now,
I love that.
Right, okay. I didn't even realize I was going to be a grandmother in 22. But at the time, that didn't exist. And I'm like, now, I wasn't thinking that way. I was thinking more of the mortgage business legacy.
Okay.
But I'm like, wow, I technically really went legacy with actually passing on my family, And so I'm really deep in thought of what is 23 going to be. But tying into that, you said you have to have love in everything you do in your work.
Yeah.
Melissa, that is the key to having any type of joy in our professional careers. Because when we lose that, when we lose loving our clients and loving our teams and having a piece of love, it's funny. I remember one time I was speaking to someone and I said, I love my clients. And the person said, do you really love your clients? Aren't they a pain in the behind? And I said, no, I love my clients. Like and it's weird. People like almost feel a little like awkward saying that, but it's not true, right? Like you agree, it
No,
isn't
yes.
love.
I had someone confess their love to me at the closing table last year.
Oh,
It took me off guard for a minute, but then it was beautiful. And I thought,
oh,
you know what? I can do that for others. Like I always think like, can I be like Wayne? I always think that because like in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to express that. And I have this whole
yes.
year. And it's amazing how my relationships this year are 10 times better.
Oh,
Um, so yes, yes, you need to express yourself. You need to, I feel like people don't say it as
I
often as we
agree.
should.
I
And we
agree.
really should. And I tell people even when I get off before I get off the phone with them, thank you so much. Like this call like made my day. Like
Yes.
anything like that, because it really did. And
Yes.
so I think we just need to express how we feel a little bit more.
I
So
agree. I think all of that. So for everyone watching this, Melissa and I did not plan on wearing yellow, but Melissa together. But Melissa mentioned that we're recording on a Thursday, and she said, "Well, it's Kindness Thursday," and we were speaking about the importance of kindness. And I think, as we're having this conversation, of course, it's resonating a lot with me because I absolutely feel the same way. But it is important for all of us in the industry, for all of us as human beings, forget about what we do professionally, spreading that kindness and care and empathy and compassion and all those words. They're not just buzzwords. They are real and they are tangible. And none of us know what someone else is going through at any moment that you speak to them. None of us did.
no, and
And
we're
you
all immune.
Wait, I have a beautiful story to share. I actually have to share this story. So yesterday I was on the phone with one of my account executives early in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. We were on the phone. And he was driving his daughter to school at that time, right? And he he lets her out of the car, right? And he's like, "Love you." And this is what he said to her. He said, "Remember, smile at someone that you don't know because you never know who needs to see it." And that just, like, I have known this man for over 10 years, and I saw him in a totally different light when I heard him say that to his daughter going to school.
I love it.
We all have that ability to smile at someone, to say a kind word, to tell someone how special they are and what they mean to our lives. Don't be afraid, don't hold back, because
Yeah.
we all need to hear that. And on that note, as we wrap up, give that piece of advice, Melissa. Share, and I wonder if it's tied to what we're speaking about, but doesn't have to be. But
Okay.
share, what would be your advice to mortgage and real estate professionals out there? Things that you've learned that have helped you, especially if they're newer. And maybe this is their first market that's a little different than a 2021 market.
So first off, I always like to say that kindness is love in action. It really is. That's what it is. But if you are coming into the mortgage industry, my best advice is come with the attitude of saying, I'm here for it all. Because really, it's like I said, it's a roller coaster ride. It's endless adventure. But say I'm here to thrive, I'm here to work, I'm here to serve. It's a compelling industry that we work in, but it's really challenging every day as well. And so I think when you say I'm here for it all, like jump all in, because that's the only way that you're truly going to be successful. And also don't compare yourself to others. In this business, it's been proven that if you bring your uniqueness, it really is your best asset. There's really no formula to the mortgage industry and in being successful. I've seen it so many different ways. So follow who you are, be true to yourself, be consistent, and believe in yourself. And if you ever have the opportunity to use your voice, like take it. This is what I love about you, Laura, is that you're paving a way for others in the industry. And I feel like I look up to you for doing that for me. Like use your voice. Like when you ask me to do this, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is my why? Oh my gosh. But it's amazing what growth comes from opportunities that open up to us. And I feel like I've had so many doors open up for me this last couple of years. And it's amazing how much growth I have partaken of. And so I know that I can do that for others. And just like Katie Sweeney said at AIM, we have a chair at the table now. And I think we need to take up that opportunity because of others that have paved the way for us. And so as far as my legacy goes, I know that like I am the co-creator of my own life. I know that God helps me in many ways, but whatever I'm talking about, I bring about. And so whatever you want to put out or want coming back to you in the world, put out there because it will come back to you. And I hope that my legacy, not only is it kindness, but I really would love for people to say that that I was someone that made them feel seen, that made them feel heard, and made them feel loved. Like and that I was truly the rock star of my own life.
Yes.
That's my legacy.
Oh my God, I love that. I absolutely love that. And I'm so blessed to have had this time with you.
Thank you.
Because it really has, I've enjoyed so much getting to know you and understanding more about you. And of course, anyone that's listening and watching this right now is just going to be drawn to all of your natural kindness and authenticness of sharing a piece of yourself. And I truly appreciate you using your voice and projecting this out because it does create a ripple and it shows others that I agree with you 1000%. Your best superpower is being yourself.
Yes.
Because no one can duplicate that. There's only one of you. You are your perfect, your unique self. And never ever try to mimic other people or to try to be like others because that's their path. This is your path. This is your life that you're co-creating, as you said. So, Melissa, thank you so much for joining us. I know everyone is going to absolutely enjoy hearing all of this. Keep shining brightly, my friend, and we will be continuing to watch, support, and celebrate with you.
Thank you, Laura. Love you tons.
Love you.